¿Qué tal? Mi nombre es Francisco, soy de entreviñetas.cl y quería consultarte, ya que lo mencionaste, con respecto al tema del avance de la inteligencia artificial. ¿Cómo lo ves tú? ¿Cómo vas sintiendo estas comillas amenazas de lo que es el avance de la inteligencia artificial? Pensando en tu rol como actor y también pensando en tu voz, y en tu trabajo.
It's a big question. Obviously, there are many fears about artificial intelligence, but it's like any technology. When I started working with performance capture, or motion capture, from the acting community, there was fear that somehow technology would take over performance, but that is not the case, and I think there's always been a misunderstanding about the potential for performance capture. In fact, it's still not even recognized as even by our union as a form of acting. It still has yet to be accepted fully. So I think it's like anything, you know, technology, when it is invented, can be used for incredibly creative, positive things, and it can be used incredibly negatively. So artificial intelligence is no different to any form of technology, you know, whether it's in the medical field or you know, any field of evolution of science or technology. You can. So what I'm saying is, I suppose, artificial intelligence, it needs to be monitored, but it's also, when I think back to films that I have been involved in, that has already been used 20 years ago to build large armies, for instance, in certain films which we can't talk about, but the idea of machine-learnt behaviour to create vast armies of characters has been around for a long time. Now, there was an innocence about the potential usage of that then. What it's come down to now, as long as actors are and writers and everyone who it's going to affect, I mean, I'm just talking about the entertainment industry, but it applies to any industry. As long as they are remunerated, paid, and valued for the authoring of the role or the voice or the character, and that they own their own IP, digital IP, then I think as long as protections are put in place, I think it's got huge potential for filmmaking, and especially the sort of immersive storytelling that I'm talking about, where you can have characters that can respond to you and you can walk around and they will register you. If those characters are created originally and authored by actors, and the scripts are written by writers, and those protections are in place, then I do think that it will offer a huge creative, a level of creativity that people can use. Obviously, in the wrong hands, you can create devastating effects with artificial intelligence in terms of misinformation. You can, in the same way as you can create images of people and put them into a scenario which will compromise them or get them in trouble or tell lies on a global scale. Of course, there are those the downsides to it, and that's where the fear comes from. But I think it's all about how it's policed. I'm sorry, that's such a long answer.